Hey, DJ.
Hey, Tisa, how you doing?
What's
hmm
going on, DJ Grady
Look at you.
Baby?
Everything's going good. Look at you. Got that glow. Tisa got that
I got a
magic,
glow.
y'all.
I
Yeah.
got a glow for real, for real.
No, it's a good glow. It's a good glow. Good glow.
It is.
Yeah. Look at you looking like sunshine.
Child, you know I'll take it. You know I
He was
will
just
take
a
it. I
friend.
will
Yes,
take
yes.
it. I will take
Not just
it.
anybody can touch my body.
What's
And then he
going
came
on,
along, showed me
everyone?
pleasure like I never known.
What's going
He's
on?
got
Yeah.
that magic.
We're
Got
gonna
this.
go ahead.
He's got that
Ooh.
magic. He's got that
We're
magic.
gonna
The
go
way he
ahead
touches
and
me
let
is so spiritual.
everybody
He's so everything. He's a
who has
miracle.
an interest and who wants to. We're going to go ahead and let everybody share this. I would ask that you share it, share it, share it. Of course, as always, now y'all know I don't have to tell you this, but as always, it is going to be
The way he touches me is
a
so
power packed
spiritual. He's
hour.
so everything.
So
He's
Yes.
a
let's let
miracle.
everybody go ahead and people that you
Just to
know could
look at
benefit.
face
If
with
you know
nothing in
somebody and
mind.
they have unforgiveness in their heart,
But after one
or
conversation,
you
he was
know
here I
they say that
went
they have
from.
forgiven but their actions
His
don't
words are so
indicate
gifted,
that,
his humor is so
this
wicked.
would be a
And he's
perfect
a brainiac,
opportunity
and he
to
makes
go
me laugh
ahead
like
and
an
share this podcast
aphrodisiac.
with him. What you say about that,
He's
DJ Grady
got
Baby?
Hey, yes. Must share. Yes,
Yeah,
please. Because
yeah,
your story, our story could help somebody. So, hey, make sure y'all do that.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Today we're
hmm
going to talk about forgiveness,
the way he
y'all. We're
touches
talking about
me is so
forgiveness.
spiritual.
Um,
Oh my goodness.
what does that look like? What does it feel like? What does it, you know, how do you move throughout the process of forgiveness?
hmm
Um, so DJ Grady Baby, I mean, what does
Yes.
forgiveness look like to you?
Forgiveness for me is forgetfulness. You know,
Oh wow.
I forgive people more than anything because it frees me up. It frees my mental space. It frees the heartache. It I just let things go. You know, and if somebody put their hand on me after after we fix that situation, yeah, I can forgive you. We can start over because
We can
sometimes things
start over.
happen. Yeah, things happen. Other than that, what people say to me, I make it. As man, I'll get a little sensitive, but I try not to let it offend me. And sometimes it's not what people say; it's how they say it that offends people. So then, also too,
Mm,
is how you perceive things. So it kind of you just have to have thick skin and to be able to treat it like shower water. Just let it run off your body. Don't let it
so
soak into your spirit.
okay, so let me ask you this.
hmm
When you say that if somebody offends you, you just let it go. Do you really let it go, or is it a buildup? Does it become a buildup and then you just explode and go off when you've had enough? And if
Yes,
that's the case, have you really forgiven?
I forgive right after I release. I do harbor a lot. I do. It does. Let's say I take a lot before I get it off my chest. But by then, once I get off my chest, I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
Hmm.
You know,
Wow.
I treat it like a moving
Okay.
truck. I store all the stuff on there until I can't put no more on there. Then when it kind of come out, I have to release it. And then
You
once I
have to
release it,
release it.
I'm done with it. Yeah, you know.
Wow. Okay.
I
Okay.
know, man. One of my closest friends. I mean, like we like brothers. It was an incident happened, and it was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Hicks ex. I didn't know him. His girl had broke up, whatever like that. I know they lived together. I The only thing I knew they lived together. And I only been to their place like twice or whatever. But she had called me out of the blue, said, "Hey, I need you to come help me get get his things, help him with his stuff." I'm like, what? And so I'm calling him. He's not answering my call. So I'm thinking he's hurt or whatever like that because I know he was in a motorcycle accident. So I'm thinking like, okay, what's going on? He's not answering his phone. So let me go over there. So I go over there. She's in the house, and I'm like,
Mm.
she's like, come in. I'm like, I don't know if I should come in. I was like, is he here? She said, no, but he'll be here. So I went in the house, start talking and stuff, trying to figure out what's going on, what happened, whatever like that. they got into an altercation, whatever. He left the house. So as I was like, so when she told me what was going on, so I got her and said, well, let me get up out of here. Let me go. As I was leaving, he was coming in. And he thought I was trying to see his girl. Like, no, she called me from
Wow.
over. Yeah, so it looked kind of weird, right?
Looks
So-
suspect. It looks suspect is what it looked.
Right. So I mean, it wasn't nothing.
You
So-
always getting caught up in suspect
And some mess,
situations.
all because of a sister, okay? Because she called me. So
Suspectuations is what I'm
Yeah.
gonna call. That's
Yes.
our word for the day.
yeah, so he
You,
stopped
DJ
talking to me.
Grady, baby. Suspectuation.
Yeah, so he stopped talking to me for like a couple of years, and so she explained to him the situation that she was mad at him, so she was trying to get back at him. So he actually called me out the blue, and we started talking and stuff. He said, "Man, I'm cool, man." Yada yada yada. He said, "I forgive you." He said, "We're not going to even bring that situation back up," and that's been like many years ago. I mean, guys forgive
Well-
each other faster than ladies, though. Ladies hold on to the end.
Okay, here's what I will say to that, and I'm sure. Hey guys, hey Phyllis, hey Alicia Bunky, Margaret. Margaret, I miss seeing you at church as well. I miss seeing everybody at church. I really do. What's going on, Ron Robinson, Willie, Cynthia, Kimberly, Sherhart, Keisha, Rose, Lisa Bugs. Listen,
Hey.
you say that men forgive faster than ladies do, and I want the women and men both to chime in. I disagree.
Okay.
I adamantly disagree. I don't think that men forgive necessarily faster than women do. I think that they handle unforgiveness differently than women do.
Now, can I add something? Men forgive each other faster, but we can't forgive a woman for something. It's like
Okay,
a double standard.
so
Yeah.
you don't forgive. You don't forgive easily. If you hold resentment in your heart and unforgiveness in your heart towards a woman, then you don't have you do have a problem forgiving, just like women do. I will be the first one to say that sometimes as women we can be petty towards each other. Sometimes we can hold resentment in our hearts towards each other when it really, that other woman is not even the focal point. It's
Right.
probably some man that you should be dealing with, and not, coming against your sister who is
Yeah.
probably oblivious to a
To what's going on.
relationship or anything.
Mhm.
Exactly. But for
Mhm.
some reason, we have a tendency as women to have animosity in our hearts towards another woman if she has been involved in a hurtful situation.
Right.
I will say this, but let me tell you something I've learned about y'all.
Y'all.
Come on, let's testify. We getting ready
Okay,
to
come on.
testify.
Well,
and
tell it
stick on
then.
the
If you
board
tell
today.
it, I'm gonna spell it.
Yeah, you all harbor unforgiveness in your hearts.
No.
It just looks different. And I say that to say this: you guys will put on a good game face and act as though
Really?
nothing is wrong, because when you do that, that makes the other person feel like they are insignificant to you. So
Okay.
you all will put on a good game face and act
Mhm.
like everything is okay. But
Okay.
in your hearts, your hearts
Mhm.
are not right, and your hearts are vindictive, and you all have more, to me, of a payback mentality than
Oh,
women do.
oh, see now.
That's just
I mean,
what I
now,
ain't experienced a whole lot.
I
but
kinda
what
agree
I
with you
have
on a little
experienced
bit.
few things.
I kind of agree
Come
with
on,
you on
somebody,
that.
chime
But
in, viewers.
now the fella's gonna hate me. I'm gonna lose my man card for this. But the
You
truth
don't have
has
no
to be
man
told.
cards left. You done lost all of them.
How the hell?
You done lost all of them, Brady, on previous shows. You ain't got no man cards left.
No, but
So
the
go ahead and put
fellas
it
really,
out there.
they're really gonna hate me for this.
Okay.
So
Hey, Lionel.
I think the point that you're speaking of, men, we are pretend, it's because we're trying to get back. Okay, let's say like if you're in a relationship with a man, and the man maybe was caught cheating, whatever like that. He want to come back in and don't give the woman proper closure and just act like whatever. And that's a way of doing it. I'm not even gonna go into the other reason I was gonna say, because I couldn't even show my face around the fellas.
But I mean, that's true.
But yeah.
Men
Don't
don't
do that.
forgive any quicker
Yeah.
than ladies do. Ladies have a tendency to wear our feelings on our sleeves. So
Yes.
if we feeling it, we're gonna let you know that we're
Yes.
feeling it, and I'm not feeling you. I'm not dealing with you, and we don't put up pretenses.
Yeah.
Men, you guys do.
Yeah,
You
we
can
do.
harbor ill will in your heart towards a woman or towards another man or whatever, but you all are so cool,
Yeah.
um,
That's true.
and you want to come across as being so nonchalant,
Yeah.
sometimes even stoic, that
Yeah.
you just don't show it the same
Yeah.
way. But it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that your heart is any more pure,
Hmm.
um, or any more ready to forgive than ladies.
Yeah.
What y'all say?
We was brought up, man. We was brought up like that. My dad and other male figures in my life taught us never let them see you sweat. Once a woman or
Never let
anybody
them see
find
you
out
sweat.
what makes you upset, hide your emotions. Never express yourself too much,
That's
because
what your
if you
father said.
my put like this, my father figures. I put like
Your
that. My
father figure. I'm
figures, yeah,
I'm
older
sorry,
older
y'all.
men.
And okay,
Hmm.
and if y'all hear something, right? I have Gigi duties today, and
Yeah.
my beautiful soror, line sister Tammy, she's
Hey
here again
Tammy.
to
Hey,
watch my Riley bug.
Tammy to the
So if
rescue.
Right, so if you all hear noise in the background, that's just Riley bug trying to do what she does best, which
Hmm.
is just bombard and take over the show
Yeah.
because
She's just
she
showing her
wants to be.
love. That's her
Yeah, she
love.
wants to be the center of attraction. So
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to make this public. Um, I think Phyllis wanted, she has somebody that's coming on, and she wanted to make sure that she was able to see. So this is public now. If you have other people who are trying to watch the podcast,
Cool.
um,
I was just sharing. Thank you.
right. I
You
want to
guys
see what
continue to
Ron
like and
has to
share.
say.
Like
I
and
want to see
share.
what Ron has to say. Ron always has some really good words of wisdom.
Yeah.
Um,
But
Pam
yeah.
Rose says, throw your hair. Okay, Pam, I cannot with you today. Um, so Keisha Boyd says that is so true. They do have a payback mentality. They do.
Yeah, we
I mean,
do.
let's just face it. Men have, and men are really bad with that. And men like to say women are petty. Sometimes
Yeah.
we are, but guess what? We take a back seat to the a level of petty that a man has. I mean, for real.
Yeah.
We pay our pettiness pales into comparison of
Yeah.
what a man's pettiness
But
can be.
see,
So
it's
yeah,
different. See, it's pettiness and top that. Although two different things are the same. Because
pettiness and
men
what?
top that. Try to outdo. Let's say
Yeah,
like
that's pettiness as well.
mhm,
If it's
mhm,
coming from a bad, if it's competitive, if it's just
mhm,
a competition, yeah. I mean, it's a different thing to be
yeah.
competitive, but
Mhm.
that tit for tat stuff is petty, and that's
Okay,
the
yeah, we
top
are.
that mentality.
Yeah, but
Yeah, men are
we have it
petty.
in a
Men are
different way.
very
We're
petty.
different. But women are more petty.
No,
Women go to
women
the
are not
extreme.
more petty.
Y'all sisters go to
Mm-mm,
the
don't
extreme.
believe it.
Men, we
Don't
only go
believe it.
so far. We
We
only go
just
so
wear
far,
our
then we
feelings
stop.
on our sleeve. We wear our feelings on our sleeves. You all hide it. That's the only difference. So Ron Robinson says forgiveness allows us to continue to have a heart of flesh that is sensitive to God's spirit speaking,
Mhm.
directing and healing us and growing us in God. He says when we don't forgive, then the harboring of that unforgiveness causes us to have a stony heart. And that's true.
Mhm.
We become very bitter. He says we become so hard that if you can't feel the spirit of God, and that is when we really become that far from God. That's true. He
Yeah.
says we can't feel him nor hear from him, and we subject ourselves to carnality and consequences that follow. And I will agree with that. What I can say is, when I was married, I was the queen, and I was still saved and going to heaven, but I was the queen of unforgiveness. I
Mhm.
could walk around in my house for a week and not speak to my husband if he did something to me, maybe even two
See?
weeks, and it didn't bother me at all because I was stubborn and my heart was full of unforgiveness, and I became very bitter. And when you become bitter, people outside of your home can even sense that. They
Yeah.
know that something ain't quite right. Like they put on a good game face. They look like the perfect couple, but something isn't quite right.
Something,
it
something, just
something
ain't
something
right.
something just ain't
Just ain't
right.
right.
But you know what? I can't. If I try today, I can't hold on to unforgiveness,
Yeah.
and that's just growth. And God, I can remember one time that I had someone do something to me, and it was something that was very, it was hurtful to me, and I felt like I had been really good to this person, and uh, they sort of showed out on me when things didn't go their way. And, a couple of weeks later, they called me or they sent me a text message and they asked me to forgive them. Well,
Mhm.
I felt in my heart that maybe I already had forgiven them, but I knew for a surety that I didn't want to have anything else to do with this person ever
Okay.
in life. Do you hear
Okay.
me? Like
Uh-huh.
ever in life. I didn't want to have anything else to do with them. So I was like, okay, have I truly forgiven this person? If I forgive them, does that mean that I have to have something to do with them? So I called my reliable bishop, Bishop Dale Bronner, who is one of the most intelligent men I've ever met in my life.
Mhm.
And I asked him, Bishop, tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. And I told him the scenario, and I said, I don't care to have anything ever to do with this person again. So am I harboring unforgiveness if I don't want to have anything to do with this person? And his response was paramount. He said to me, Tisa, forgiveness is altogether different from restoration. Just because you forgive somebody doesn't mean you have to restore that relationship. As long as
Mm.
you wish them well, and you can pray for them at night when you're praying for everybody else, and you let go of any bitterness in your heart towards them, then you're good.
Okay.
How do
Hmm.
y'all feel about that? I mean,
Hey,
that set me free. I almost did a
yeah.
Holy Ghost dance on that one.
Oh, wow. And that leads to a question I was going to ask you. So it's segue right into it. Um, in order for forgiveness to work, do you have to have closure?
I don't think so. I don't
Mm.
think so because there are some people that you will never have closure with because the opportunity may not present itself for you guys to even
Yeah.
communicate again. But
Yeah.
does that mean that you walk around forever? And that's a good point. You just segued into the next topic. When you
Mm-hmm.
say, do you have to have closure to have forgiveness?
Mm-hmm.
My answer unequivocally is no.
Mm.
Because if you're waiting for a person to apologize or make things
Oh,
right or
yes.
whatever um, before you forgive, then your heart is not right.
Yes.
Forgiveness is not, and I have learned this. If I haven't learned anything else in my life, I have learned that it is not just a cliche statement. Forgiveness is not for you. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for
It's
you.
for you. Yes.
It's for you
Yeah.
because it sets you free when you make a decision. When you walk around and you're harboring all that bitterness in your heart and that unforgiveness, it's like a ton of bricks on your back. It
Mm-hmm.
weighs you
Mm-hmm.
down.
Yeah.
And it also creates, health issues. Um, it's damaging you. It's not doing anything to the other person because they've
And
gotten
they're
on with their
gone with their
lives,
life.
and they ain't
Mm-hmm.
thinking about you.
Mm-hmm.
But you are walking around heavy because of unforgiveness you have in your heart towards somebody else. When you really make the decision to just forgive somebody completely, God, take this from me. I don't want it. I don't want to feel this way anymore. Whatever is in my heart that is not right, God, take it. I don't want it. I can't take this anymore. When you ask Him to do that and then you allow yourself to actually forgive, my gosh, that's such a liberating feeling. Like you
Mm-hmm.
feel so light and easy and airy and cheesy and emancipated and liberated. The feeling that comes from truly forgiving someone
Yes.
is
You
it's
can't
it's a
explain it.
feeling that's
Yeah.
uncomparable.
Yeah.
So that was my next question. How do you know when you've truly forgiven somebody?
When
Can
you can
Mother
walk
Louise
past.
chime in?
Yeah. I know how I totally know that I have totally forgiven somebody when I can walk up to them and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Act like nothing has ever
But are
happened.
you
So
acting like it, or do you
no,
really feel like
genuinely.
it?
Hey,
Because
what's
we've
going on?
already
How's the
talked about how
family?
petty men are.
Yeah.
So
No,
are
no.
you doing that to
But
just have a good game face, or what?
No, just to show how happy I am. But see,
Okay.
I'm telling you, women are more petty than because you guys put on a whole wardrobe of pettiness. I'm finna
Oh
outshine her. I'm getting
wow.
ready to outdo this,
Oh,
outdo that. So, but
oh.
the men, we just like, hey, what's up, dog? You doing all right? Everything good? Yeah, all right, holler at you. Boom, we gone. You guys, you ladies have to tell a whole story, a success story of things that you accomplished, or things that you done, or what you're about to do. So that showed me you guys are the epitome of pettiness.
DJ. Okay, I'm about to agree with my baby sister when she got on you last
Oh,
time.
I thought you were about to agree with me. Oh,
I'm about to agree with my baby sister because you know what? You got some real, I think you got some unforgiveness in your heart from some, somebody somewhere along the way. I don't know
oh
who
yeah.
she is or who she was,
Oh,
but whoever she was, I'm going to beat her up because
yeah,
you
yeah,
know what? She has damaged my beautiful,
yeah.
wonderful DJ Grady
I ain't
baby.
gonna lie. I
Your
am.
perception of
Yeah,
women is tainted.
I have been. I have. Yeah, I have been scorned. Can I say scorned? I have
Yeah,
been.
you can. Well,
Yeah, I have.
you've been through some things now. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna take that away from you. Some of those
yeah.
things though you brought on yourself, but
Now I'm gonna say this. This is the one of the most hurtful things I have been in, but I forgave both parties, and I pray that they're not listening right now, and I pray they're not listening right now.
oh, okay, maybe
I
they
don't know if
could
I
be
can say.
listening. That's how healing
Mm,
happens through conversion.
yeah, but I don't want to like rehash old feelings. Um, Somebody that was really dear to me that I was dating ended up sleeping with a sibling of mine. I'm just gonna
She
say
was
it like
sleeping
that.
with the sibling of yours,
Mm-hmm.
and you were dating her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Didn't even find out till after the breakup.
Ooh, woo.
But I forgave both parties, like nothing has ever happened. So we all are cool. Now that's
Oh
some serious
wow.
forgiveness right there. So
That
yeah,
is some serious forgiveness.
I have been through some things, a lot of stuff I don't even talk. Teacher, this is like counseling. Are you my counselor? Because every time I turn
You
around,
know,
I'm
I'm your
always
life
revealing
coach.
stuff.
I'm your
Well,
life coach.
yeah,
That's
yes,
what I,
that's right.
that's why I
That's right.
went on ahead and got certified.
Yeah,
Um, because that's one I truly believe that is my calling
just
in life. I
yeah,
just want to
yeah.
help somebody
Congratulations.
else. Thank
Yeah,
you so much,
congratulations.
TJ.
Oh my goodness, you
Thanks
got
so
me.
much.
Lord Jesus, you got me telling everything.
Well, that's but you're just being transparent,
Yeah,
and that really helps somebody else.
you know.
Transparency is good for us because
Hmm.
once you get all that stuff out, like you feel like I ain't got nothing to hide. Can't nobody hold anything over my head anymore. Like
Yeah,
I'm just free. And but you have no idea how many other people are going through currently or have been through
yeah.
what you
What I've been
experienced. It
through,
helps
and
them.
right, and they haven't moved past it because when it
Right.
happened to me, when that night I was on the phone, I was heated, I was frustrated, I was pacing up and down the street. I walked out the house and I was just pacing up and down the street, and I was like, man. But how I found out, my sibling told me, So I was like, well, because I kept trying to I put two and two together, and something just said ask, and I asked, and like
Mm.
they didn't want to say nothing, but they told me. Then I was like, you know what? Okay, cool. So when I called the other person that was at fault, they were like, oh, they said something. Oh, they was really hot, but I said no, it's not
Oh
about that.
wow. They were busted. They were
Yeah, they was busted. Yeah,
busted.
and
Busted.
yeah, but I kind of had a feeling something was going on, but I wanted it to be wrong. I wanted
So
to
so
be
that's
wrong.
how you typically know when something's going on. That
Yeah,
feeling is called your inner man. It speaks to you.
yeah.
So Robinson says, does unforgiveness just happen based on that one incident or offense, or is it based on existing pain lying dormant? I think it could be
Mm,
both. Um, I
yeah.
think it could be both. And hear me when I say this. If one thing I try to pride myself on not doing is making another person, the next guy, pay for something that the past guy did.
Right.
That is a horrible way to you brought really tainted baggage into the relationship, and so I try not to do that. But if said guy, if current boyfriend or husband or whatever does
Mhm.
something to make me feel a certain way or does something to offend me or hurt me or whatever, if I haven't released the baggage of my past,
Mhm.
then yeah, it's just sort of like a snowball effect. It just builds.
So,
But if I'm in a healthy place, it
uh-huh.
doesn't mean that I'm still not going to have a little bit of unforgiveness in my heart until God convicts me. And it could be that I'm in a totally healthy place and there's a new hurt and a new offense,
Okay.
and it could not necessarily trigger past emotions, but it can hurt me. And if
Okay.
that happens, then we have to work out uh, a way within ourselves to forgive them. So I
Okay.
think that's both, in my opinion.
Well, I want to test you right. I want to test you real quick, and this may be for the listener, maybe helping somebody that's watching this. But Tisa, I'm going to test you on that. What you just said. You said
Okay.
you're not going to take baggage from the last relationship into the new one, right?
That's
That's what
what
you
I
said, right?
said. That's
Okay.
exactly what I said.
Okay. All right. So let's say like the last breakup that you had, this guy, he had anger issues, his signs are slamming cabinet doors, slamming doors, grunting while you talking and stuff like that. You moved on from a relationship. All right. So you start a new relationship with your friend, y'all maybe 6 months in, and you started to hear him slam doors, stomping off, grunting and stuff. Those are red flags. So now you're gonna take from the old relationship. Oh, I know what this is about to go. I know what this is about to happen. So you nip it in the bud, right? So you know how you ladies got to start nipping things in the bud because it reminds you of the last. But you
Okay,
told
but
me
honey, that's wisdom. That is
that's not
not
wisdom.
unforgiveness.
That is
That's not
reaching in the
unforgiveness
knapsack.
and baggage. I disagree. And all that getting good understanding. So I need you to
I know.
understand this, DJ Grady baby.
Okay.
That is wisdom. Wisdom tells you
Mm-hmm.
how to proceed. Like you should certainly be wise enough to learn from past experiences
Okay.
and know what you do and don't want. So when you see those signs, it doesn't mean that you're carrying baggage. It means that you see those signs, you're wise enough to see the signs, and you're wise enough to apply wisdom and say, you know what, this is not going to be good for me. Doesn't have anything to do with baggage. It has to do with
Okay.
experiences. We all have
Right.
those.
But I
You
don't want
can
you
learn
to
from them, or you can
abort.
stay in them.
Right. Now, I don't want you to abort the situation when you see the signs. Is you have to communicate to them, say, "Hey, what's wrong? Why are you doing this? Okay, how can we fix this?" You don't. When you see a sign, most
If
people
it's
see signs and
fixable.
run. Yeah,
Well,
it could be
but
fixable.
that doesn't
With
that
men,
doesn't
it's
necessarily mean
conversations.
there's baggage. That
With
that that means, I mean, if a man has anger issues,
uh,
maybe I don't want to stay and fix it. That doesn't mean I'm carrying
yeah,
baggage. That's a
but
choice. That's my choice. How you
but
gonna tell me
understand,
what I got to do?
but
I
understand.
might not want to deal with that, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have baggage. I ain't got
Okay,
time to be
true.
trying to fix no grown man. And
Okay.
if I wanted to fix him, I can't, because we can't even fix ourselves. It
See this.
takes the Holy Spirit and divine intervention to
See, ladies
come
and
on
gentlemen,
down from heaven and fix us. So
see,
how we think we gonna fix somebody else?
this
I'm
is
just
why.
saying.
This is why, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen,
just
because I
saying.
couldn't even get
You
2
gotta
words
let
in.
you gotta
See,
let
this is the
people be who
problem.
they are. When
No, you got to
somebody
find
show
out
you who
what's
they are,
wrong.
DJ Grady, baby, you gotta believe them. You
Oh
gotta
no.
let them be who they are.
But you got to believe him. But first, before you believe him, you got to hear where they're coming from. All you do is find out, okay, babe, what's wrong? Because he might not be mad at you. He might be mad at the situation that happened before he got home. So
Oh, okay. So
don't.
if
Yeah.
he
So
if
you
he
have to
okay, so if he has
investigate.
anger issues, then
Yeah.
he has a good excuse for those anger issues.
Yes. Yes.
You should stay, right?
Well, as long as it's
Is that
not.
what you're saying?
Yes. Not saying.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay. So
All
hold on.
right.
Let me
So
see. You trying
when
to
I
trick me?
wake up,
Hold on.
when I wake
You
up in
try-
the middle of the night when he's mad at me, and I wake up and I don't wake up because he's killed me. But I had a good reason for staying because he had a good reason for his anger issues. Then that's justifiable.
But no.
Yeah,
I was
no.
saying investigate. Find out who he's mad at. It could. He may not be mad at you now. If he's mad at you, that's something different. Hey, run while you can. But nah, I
Anger
understand.
issues are anger issues. I've
No.
had them before, so I can speak on that.
Well, you know
So
what?
whether you angry at me or you angry at somebody else, when you lack the intellect
Mm-hmm.
as to how to properly channel that anger, that's where the problem comes in. It's not, everybody gets angry. Angry can be a healthy emotion as long as you know how to properly channel it.
I
But
got
when
one
you
for you.
don't, it doesn't matter if you're mad at me, him, or the next person if you don't know how to handle it. Keisha Boyd says, that is true. I have someone very close to me that has continued to hurt me, be jealous, and lie on me. I decided to forgive her, but I created a boundary. Very good. I do
Okay.
not allow her in my space, only in social settings by circumstances. But because I have evolved and forgiven her, I feel great and I'm okay with her not being in my space. I felt that I took my control back. Boom. Bingo. You're absolutely right. Keisha, how did you get so smart? That's my little cousin, y'all.
Yeah, she
My little
listened to the
sister.
show. She
How
listened
did
to
you
me.
get so smart?
She listened to DJ
Absolutely.
Grady, baby.
She
That's what it
listens.
is.
She
Yeah,
listens
yeah,
to DJ Grady, baby. Gayon, what's
yeah.
up, Gayon?
But yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
everything's relationships. It's all about forgiveness. Because men, we make a mistake. Oh, let me get back before I forget. You remember the movie Boys in the Hood?
Oh, I definitely remember
Do
the
you
boys
remember
in the
the
hood.
the
Yeah,
scene where the police officer put the gun to Trey head? Then Trey went
yeah,
to his girlfriend's house and he was
yeah,
mad. She was trying to talk to him, so she didn't know what was going on. So he's punching at the air. So that's
yeah.
it speaks to the point where I was just saying. A lot of times the anger may not be you. It may be something that
Okay,
happened.
that's a good example. That
Hmm.
is a very, very good example. I don't necessarily consider that an anger issue, though.
Oh,
What I consider that is he was reacting to something that happened in the moment. He felt he he was unjustly um, emasculated, if you
yes.
will.
Hmm.
So, I don't necessarily see that as an anger issue. Like I get that plight. So I understand what you're saying when you say find out what's going on before you leave. Now, it's not like if he comes in and he's slamming doors, I'm not just gonna pack up my bags and just
Okay.
dip as soon as. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
do
you
that.
made it sound like you gonna run.
No, if I care, if I'm vested in the relationship and there are real emotions involved, then certainly I'm gonna want to do what I can to salvage the relationship. But if things become a pattern,
Okay.
and if he's showing me that he has anger issues, let me just tell you this: you can't pick and choose how you want to control your anger issues. You can't say, okay, he has anger issues. He'll go off on them, but I know he'll never put his hands on me if he gets angry with
Yeah.
me, because you don't know
Ooh.
that. You don't
Yeah.
know what a person is
What a person
capable
would do.
of doing once they feel like they're
Yes.
backed into a corner or they're pushed.
Right. Right.
So my preference is to deal with somebody who's more mild mannered and
Yes.
who knows how to properly channel
Handling
and control their
it.
anger.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all get angry. It's okay. It's
I have to.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ursula
Thank
says
you,
it's a
Tisa.
good thing. You are helping someone else. Thank you,
Thank you,
Urs.
Tisa. You perfectly
Yeah.
explained it where I need to explain to somebody else because I had a friend. She is attracted to thugs, hard guys, and stuff like that. But she always keep running to the
Mm.
guys that are abusive. But you like of guys that are aggressive, they don't know how to turn that switch off. All they know
No,
is
they
go.
don't.
So
No, they don't.
you have to be careful who you choose. Even though he could be a bad boy to the people in the streets, but he won't treat me like that. You never know what mental state he get it, that he transform into when tested. So don't
Absolutely.
put yourself in harm's way just because you like a bad boy. You
So
know.
we've sort of gotten sidetracked,
I
but
know,
I
but
agree.
forgiveness, yeah.
But we're talking about forgiveness,
Hmm.
um, and what that looks like. And when you say "I forgive you," for all y'all out there who have experienced very hurtful situations, and we all have. None of us are exempt from that. If anybody
Yes.
would come up to me and say I've never been hurt a day in my life, I would certainly challenge that,
Yeah.
because I think we've all experienced hurt. Um, but when you say I forgive, my question is, what does that look like? Like, do you think that you've forgiven just because, um, you're no longer angry at them? Do you think that's what forgiveness is? Or what is your definition of forgiveness? And I'll go, you shared what yours was, Grady. I
Hmm.
think my definition of forgiveness is when, you can acknowledge the hurt. You can acknowledge it. You should acknowledge the hurt.
Yeah.
Um, you can identify with the hurt, but you also can identify with the fact that it might not be personal. And I am going to choose to allow God to deal with that situation however He chooses. I'm going to remove myself from it. And
Hmm.
not only am I going to do that, I'm going to wish that person well, and I'm going to pray for them. Even if I don't talk to you ever again in life, if I can't pray for you and if sincerely pray for you, because God knows if you're faking or not. So it's
Right.
really it's really counterproductive to do a fake phony prayer when, oh Jesus, please help this person. Oh, and inside you feeling like, God, please strike him down as soon as it raises. Please just let him be in the middle of an open field and strike him down. But you praying for him.
Right.
If in your heart you don't feel completely empty or void of any unforgiveness or bitterness, and you can't sincerely pray for that person and wish them the best, really wish them the best, really want to see them happy, even if it's with somebody else. If you can't do that, I don't think that you've forgiven.
Yeah.
That's just that's my opinion, but that's the way I feel.
But then too, you have to factor in
Hey, Trish.
what's
Trishad.
forgivable.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, you have to factor in what's
What do you mean
forgivable
you
and
have
what's
to factor in
unforgivable.
what's
What's
nothing that's
unforgivable?
unforgivable. There's nothing that's
It's something that people. Okay, I'm gonna have to hit you with the Bible verse, and I don't really know it by heart, but it is a sin that God has said in there that's an unforgivable sin.
blasphemy.
So I know
It's the only thing in the Bible that God says is unforgivable is blasphemy, and that
Right.
is making a mockery of the Holy Spirit. So outside of that, there is, but you got to let God deal with that. That's something that God does has a. You can't try. We can't try to play God. I mean, we are certainly not certified. We don't have the experience. We lack the ability to do that. However, outside of that, there's nothing else, DJ Grady, baby. I want you to tell me something else that you feel is unforgivable. You said you have to differentiate between what's forgivable and what's unforgivable. What are some of the things that you might think are unforgivable? Because we already know you don't like women. So go ahead.
hold on. Okay, you said it right. I don't like women. I love ladies. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
I love ladies, but I don't like women.
So what are some of the things that you think are unforgivable?
If you cause bodily harm or destroy my prized possessions, that's borderline unforgivable. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, the things that I cherish the most. Yeah, because I don't want to say that, but yeah, if I really love something and you know that I really love it and you destroy it, that's unforgivable. That can't be brought back. You can't, if you take a life, you can't give back a life. To me, that's unforgivable for me.
Well,
anything else I can deal with.
And you know what? I'm going to say this. I get it. I understand why you would say that. And I get it. I don't know how I would feel if something happened to my, a very close loved one. God forbid that something happened to a very close loved one. And I was left to mourn because their demise was at the hand of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I would feel. And I think that you have to be really careful about saying you should do this or you should do that. And it's wrong not to do this or it's wrong not to forgive. I cannot stand in judgment of anybody because until it's happened to me, I'm not going to say, what you should and should not do. I know what the word of God says.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The word of God says that we should forgive. And how many times should we forgive our brother? The word of God says that we should forgive our brother 7 times 70. 7 times 70 times. But it doesn't say that 7 times 70 could be 7 times 70 per day. It could be per year. It could be per month.
Yeah.
I think that he says 7 times 70 just to let you know that there is no cap to how many times you should forgive someone.
7
so even 7 times 70. But even if someone has, taken someone or something very valuable from you, in order for you to be okay, eventually, I do feel like you are going to have to forgive that person. You were going to have to forgive them.
But Riley feel the spirit about what I'm about to release. Riley feel it. She really feel it.
Just been disrespectful, y'all. Go ahead.
So
you're gonna have to forgive.
I had to pull out the calculator. 7 times 70. You have that friend that constantly mess up. Sometimes you have people I know some people that have really went past 7 times 70. You are just exaggerating, DJ.
You
Oh
are
my goodness.
exaggerating. Sometimes it feels like
Oh,
that because
oh
people
my
just
goodness. Every
keep
time you turn
on
around, they
and on
messing
and
up.
on. But you know what? We mess up all the time on God. We mess up all the time. We sin daily.
Daily.
We sin through our thoughts and through our actions. And what would happen if he just one day said, you know what? I am tired of your tale. And you know what?
Hmm.
I ain't forgiving you no more.
I'm getting
But
tired of
I
your
do know this:
call Tyrone.
as long as we as
I'm
long
sorry.
as we walk around with unforgiveness in our heart, we can't expect God to forgive us. And I think more
Mhm.
so than anything, I want God to forgive me because I know I mess up on a
Yeah.
regular. So I want him to forgive me. I
Yeah.
need him to forgive me. And I can't expect that. I cannot expect that he would forgive me if I'm holding a grudge or animosity in my heart towards somebody else.
Okay. Okay.
And
Teach.
sometimes it's taken me a long time to forgive people. And that ain't
Oh
right.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
ain't
Yeah.
right. It ain't
Hmm.
right. It's not right. It is not. But I'm human first. So sometimes, different offenses can affect you in different ways. And
Hmm.
sometimes it does take longer, but at the end of the day, I think that it's very important to resolve whatever has happened
So,
inside and,
so
and find a way to move on and forgive.
let me ask the listeners, the ladies or fellas,
We
if you're
got some
listening.
comments.
Um,
Got some comments.
if you find out your mate or spouse has been texting somebody, but they may not have any dealings, but they just been texting another person of the opposite sex, and they say they will never do it again, would you forgive them and move on? Can you do that? I want to know.
If did you say it's the first time?
No, they have. It's been an ongoing thing, and you
Okay, well
got tired
then
of it,
they've
and you
already
want.
shown you. They've already shown you who they are. So if I say this, if you still have to. I would still have to forgive them, but that doesn't mean I have to stay in the situation.
So
I
why
can
would you
forgive them and
leave?
move on because that's my choice.
No,
If my standards aren't being
your
met,
standards gonna have you single forever.
the devil is a lie. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I rebuke you in the name
Rebu-
of Jesus.
Rebuke it,
The
because
devil
I
is
don't want
a
you to run.
bold-faced lie.
I want you to
Let
fight.
me
I
let me
want.
just say this, Grady. Let me
Yes,
say this.
baby. Yes,
I
baby.
can't criticize anybody else
Right,
for
for their
what
standards.
they
Right.
stand for and what they take and I can't. I'm not here to judge anybody else
Talk to me.
for what they and I'm not expecting perfection from somebody because I don't have that to offer. What
Right.
I do expect is a mutual respect for one another,
Okay.
and I do expect that loyalty to be reciprocated. I
Right.
don't want to be made to look like a fool in front of nobody. So you in a public setting and everybody's talking about your man because he ain't no good, but everybody knows that except you. Well, yeah, you can miss me on that. So
Okay.
if me being picky, and I know I'm particular, I get that, and
Right.
I own that. But
Okay.
what I also know is that God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we could ever ask or think. I'm whipping
Right.
you up and down today with the word. And
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
know that my standards are not too high for him.
Right. But
Hello,
understand
somebody.
this.
Come
A
on,
man.
people.
I'm tell you, a
Don't try
man
to
would.
make me settle for just anything.
Hold on. I'm not trying to make you settle.
Because
I'm
I'm
just trying to keep you
rebuking
from
you right
running.
now.
I want you to stay and
It's
work it out
not that
like the song. See, look,
some things I
listen.
can work out, Grady, and some things I can't.
You remember I said on one show, on one of Tisa Beatty shows. So you guys go to the website djgradybaby.com, listen to all the past shows. Now I mentioned my current wife,
Mm-hmm.
but when we was dating at the time, some things had happened. I ended up being with another woman during the time we're dating, but she forgave me. This is during the dating time. She didn't run off. She could have ran and changed her number. She could have did this, and that, but she forgave me. And I
That
was
was
like,
her
what?
choice.
It was her choice.
That was
But
her choice.
I mean, we 13 years in.
I'm not gonna say,
I'm
Grady,
just saying.
that I would leave the first time. I didn't say that. I didn't say
Oh,
that I would just
Tisa, you
cut and
just said
run
it,
after the
Tisa.
first. No, I did
Tisa.
not.
Oh, my.
I asked you. I said, is this a pattern or is it the first time?
Oh,
I
okay. I'm
asked you
sorry.
that, and you said
It's a
it's a
person.
pattern.
Okay, I'm sorry. I said it wrong. It's the first time, but it had
Okay,
been
well
going on
that's
for a period of
different. Then
time.
that's your
Okay.
fault because you got to
Yeah,
be
it's okay.
clear on
It's
what
my
you
fault.
how you
Okay.
communicate because I'm
I
listening
take the
to what you're
blame.
saying. If the first, that's why I was asking. If it's the
Hmm.
first time,
First time.
then yeah, I'm gonna forgive either way. I got to forgive either way. But if it's the first time, would I cut and run? Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Probably
Okay.
not. I
Cool.
could deal. I could, but if it's a pattern and
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
over and over and over and over, you're telling me that you're not going to change. That my feelings, your need to do whatever it is that's hurting me,
Okay.
outweighs your need
Yeah.
to, you
It's time to
know,
move on.
to help make me, to help solidify the relationship. When your need for that is stronger, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you have that.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's read some comments.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can we read some
Yeah.
comments
Yes.
since
Yes.
I done rebuked you?
Yeah.
Um, Phyllis Webb,
This what
Phyllis
we get.
Webb says, "Amen. You have to forgive." Gayon Blunt says, "Hello, Miss Tisa Beatty Walker. This is outstanding. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you." Boom. Now that's good. Gayon, can I use that? I'm
I
gonna
like
have
that.
to
I
use
like that.
for my next book. Now that was good. That was a really good comment. Keisha says, "How I forgive is by choosing to say it from my heart and free the heart from my mind and life. And I pray for that person and love unconditionally. I do not allow them in my space because they have shown me who they are. I'm a firm believer that you teach people how to treat you. Absolutely. When I choose to put God first and love me even more, things that other people do don't affect me." That's very
Okay.
good. That is very, so she says her forgiveness is genuine, but she doesn't have to deal with them anymore. And
Right.
that's your choice. That's your personal choice. You can forgive somebody, excuse me, and continue a relationship that may thrive and be very well with them. Or you can choose to forgive somebody and move on. Either way, I think is right. I
Right.
don't think either way is wrong. The best indicator of future behavior is what?
I don't know. You tell me, Coach.
It's past behavior.
Yeah.
The best indicator of future behavior is past
Yeah.
behavior.
It's
And
past
not to say
behavior.
that it's not to say that
But
somebody
everybody can
can't change.
change. People can change.
You're absolutely right. That may be why you want to go ahead and give them a second chance.
Yeah.
I think that it's very fair, and
Right.
and I'm not opposed to giving anybody a second chance, maybe even a third chance. But you know what? After that, you have shown me that there is
Yeah.
a pattern, and I have to make the decision. Can I deal with this the rest of my life and be
Yeah.
happy and fulfilled and thrive? And if
Right.
the answer is no, then I need to let you go,
Now,
because I'm not trying to change nobody.
and the thing I wanted to actually get to the ladies and to the women, that don't be so fast to leave. Sometimes, guys, if you can take counseling, get counseling. I just don't want to see people keep starting a new relationship. It just, it's a process, because you're trying to get to know somebody new, somebody that you really don't know, and then and it's already a guy that's right there, that's perfect for you, but you just have him in the friend zone. You might have to dip into the
Wow.
friend zone bag and
So
try it.
what makes you think that he's perfect? If he was perfect for a person, don't you think they would know that?
Yeah, but I heard some ladies say, "Oh, he's too nice. He's a good guy. He listened to me. He make me feel special. This and that. But he's too nice. I need somebody that's going to be, that's gonna, challenge me or handle me."
Oh, okay. Well,
you
some
know.
people are caught up in dysfunction because that's all they know.
True.
And
True.
so that's a broken person. And
Right.
so some women feel like if a man doesn't put his hands on her, if he doesn't handle her abusively, if he is too docile, then he doesn't
Yeah.
care. And the reason you're telling me that you don't care is because you're not becoming emotional over me. You're not losing control over me. But if you lose control, even if you put your hands on me and hit me, that lets me know that you must love me a lot to allow yourself to
Yeah.
get that heated. And that is complete and total 100% dysfunction at its finest. But some people are caught up in that. Some people, that's what they're used to. That's all they know. And people are only going to give you what they know. They can only give you what they know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So be open to forgive. Don't be so quick to run, ladies.
I understand
If
what
it's
you're
forgive,
saying, Grady,
if
and
he's
you're
not
right.
hurting you physically and mentally, If you just make little mistakes, work through those mistakes, because we are men in practice of being the perfect man for you, ladies. That's all.
Wow, that's good, DJ. Now
Okay.
that is good.
Hmm.
That might very well be some of the best stuff you've said
Oh yeah.
since
I,
we've
I
been
try not
on
to give
air.
all my good stuff out,
Oh my gosh, that was good.
Thank you.
Ron
Thank you.
Robinson says, "Can a woman truly forgive a husband that hurt her if she's never forgiven her father that hurt her?" Ooh,
Ooh, that's a good
ooh,
question. Great question. Oh wow.
ooh. You
Oh,
know
and I
what? I
was.
don't know that. I don't
Oh
even know
my
that I
goodness.
have the answer to that.
I don't
I
either.
would I would probably say I would probably say that would be very difficult. Um,
Yeah.
and the reason I say that would be very difficult is because you already know what you're working with. You're working with someone who has a lot of baggage and unforgiveness in their heart, and they're, when people don't forgive, they feel that it's justified. They feel they're justified in their
Mm-hmm.
unforgiveness. They
Mm-hmm.
feel like they're letting the other person off the hook when they choose to say, "I forgive." They don't know that forgiveness is for them, uh, and that forgiveness would free them. So they already feel justified in holding on to past hurts. So I don't know that you can move forward in a healthy manner if you still have all of that
Yeah. And you.
garbage
Yeah.
inside you.
I
I could
only.
I could I could be wrong, but I don't think I
Yeah.
am. I don't think
I
I am.
I think the best thing is to. I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. Just try to. It's hard to get closure because you don't want to see that person's face, because when you see that person, it brings back up that
Yeah,
feeling. But the
yeah,
thing is, you probably have to just block it out, scream it out. Um, those are the only two
yeah.
things I can do. Just scream it out,
Yeah,
get it out your
that's
system.
a really tough one. That was a
It's
good
a tough.
question, Ron.
Yeah.
And I love questions like that that really invoke,
Wow.
you
Thought.
know,
Yeah.
deep thought. Um, but I just don't think so. I don't. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't see how I'm wrong, because if you have a forgiving heart, you're going to forgive no matter who it
Hmm.
is. And if you have a heart that holds on to offenses, then it's going to be hard for you to forgive anybody. Now, it doesn't mean that she can't go on with you or vice versa. It doesn't mean that you can't go on and have a mediocre, I guess, relationship. But will it be one that's full of just healthiness and happiness and the joy of the Lord, and where you're thriving and you are your best selves and you're bringing out the best in each other? I
Hmm.
don't think so, because she's not even whole. She's not even coming to you whole. She's already coming to you broken and half a person, because she's got all this stuff in her heart. So
Hmm.
yeah, happiness starts from within. And if
Yes.
you've got a lot of animosity and unforgiveness in your heart, you are not a happy person. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Can write another book on it.
Yeah.
You are not a happy person. You were just putting up a facade.
Yeah.
Um, and you
So.
need to get free. You need to free yourself from that. I'm gonna tell you, if you just listen to me, I don't know all things, but I do know this. If you would just take my advice on this one, free yourself. Talk to God. Ask Him to take all of that unforgiveness out of your heart. Tell Him you don't want it anymore. It does not serve you well. Um,
Hmm.
and I promise you, once you make the decision to do that, your life becomes so much better.
Yep.
Alicia Fletcher says you cannot move forward forever, if you are going to have a breaking point.
Yeah.
And Gayon
And
Blunt says, in response to Ron Robinson's question, many times forgiveness will come through therapy. Yes, Word of Faith has a great program called Celebrate Recovery. Sometimes you need to talk it out with professionals in that area. And she's absolutely, and ain't nothing wrong with the little couch time, people. Don't
yeah,
ever
nothing wrong
think
with
that if
that.
you need help, that you are weak
Yeah.
because you asked
Yes.
for it.
And also, I want to add to that. Also, fill your life with things that you love and things that makes you happy, and laugh,
Absolutely.
and lots of laughter.
Yeah,
Laughter
laughter
and
is good for
love
the soul.
cures all. Love
Absolutely.
conquer
It's so
all.
good for the soul.
So yeah,
Absolutely. Surround yourself with positive people,
yes.
positive influences.
I
Latasha
listen to
Johnson says you have to learn to love yourself before you can love anyone else unconditionally. Absolutely.
true,
Absolutely
true.
agree with that. I cannot believe that it's 7 o'clock already.
I
Um,
know.
it seems like we just started talking, like literally just started talking.
Mm-hmm.
But as you guys always do, you show up in true fashion, and you just make the time go by so quickly. Um, Thank you guys so much. We're gonna get off this podcast, but I hope that we have said something to impart some kind of words of wisdom within you. If you know anyone who needs to hear this podcast, please share it. Please and go to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tisa Baby.
Yes.
Like it because I don't have any likes yet. I
Yes.
haven't
Like
been
and
really
subscribe and
pushing
hit the
it. But
notification.
please like and subscribe and hit the notifications because you'll get notifications of when I'm on there as well. So, and if you know anybody who needs a life coach, somebody just to speak words of life into them. I'm not a psychologist. I am not a therapist. I am not in the medical field. I am a life coach. So if you know anyone who needs my services, I am starting to book appointments. Whether it's just your lifestyle, career changes, what have you, I am here for you, booze. Nikki says, free yourself. Nikki Beatty says, free yourself. The
Hey,
rest will
Nikki.
follow. Love yourself. Absolutely. Lionel Wiley. Hey, Lionel, miss you. He says, continuously needing a woman's forgiveness may lead to you requesting it in her absence.
Mm.
Okay, let me read that again so that I can absorb it.
Yes.
Continuously needing a woman's forgiveness may lead to you requesting it in her absence. That went over my head, and I know that was deep, and I'm trying to absorb that.
I think he's speaking from regret. When the woman leave him and she haven't forgiven him, he haven't. I guess that closure that he needs to move forward. She haven't forgiven. She haven't. Haven't
Help
got
me
that
out with that,
forgiveness.
Lionel.
Yeah.
Latasha
Yeah.
says, thank you both. Thank you, Tasha.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for joining us today.
Yeah.
And Ron says, thank you, and that wasn't for me, LOL. I
I
understand. Hey, listen, we all
I need
have people that who
I
need
need a
help.
coach.
Yeah, you got a coach. Look, I'm right here. I'm right here. He says, just question that men have that I have a mentor and an influence. I'm not saying you think it was for me. Okay. So yeah, Ron, it's all good. If it was for you, it's all good. I ain't judging you. If it wasn't, that's fine. No need to justify, boo. We all here and we all
Yeah.
on the same page.
Yeah.
So again, thank you guys. Okay, so he says that Lionel clarifies it and says you always continuously needing her forgiveness. In other words, you always messing up and needing her forgiveness will have you by yourself because she'll leave you. Absolutely. Thank you, Lionel. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
See how I
I
misread
appreciate
all
that.
that?
Yeah, you trying to
Hey,
analyze it and you're
hey,
completely
yeah.
off there.
I don't
But
mind being
you're
wrong
absolutely
sometimes. It's okay. That's
You're
how you get
wrong a
better about
lot,
being
though.
wrong.
You're usually wrong a lot, but today you were
Really?
spot on. Today, Grady
Okay.
baby, I mean, I'm
Okay.
so proud of you. You were just like, oh my gosh.
It's the
You
coaching in you bringing
you
it out
you
of me.
you spoke to me today, DJ Gray. I mean, you put it down. You a bad man.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
guys
you.
so much for joining us.
We love you guys.
Angie says, food for thought, enjoyed what I heard. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. We love you. You're relevant. All of your comments, if we didn't get to them, just know we will. As usual, we take it out on my theme song. This is the way he will make me feel. And so this is my theme song. He's got that magic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Go to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tisa Beatty. Let's just talk about it. No pressure, just dialogue. Stay tuned. We'll be back with you next week. Love you guys, and we mean it.
Yes.
We're tuning out. Great discussion. Thank you, Ron. Bye, guys. Hey, he's got that magic. Okay, we're out.
All right.